Hello everyone, welcome to Adrian's blog. Today we're going to do the ELL interview. I have Miss Sandra Hawkins in my studio today, and she will be explaining and talking about ELL students she's had in her classroom. She's taught for 10 years with elementary education. So without any further ado, let's get started with our interview. Hello Sandra, thank you for being here today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions about having ELL students in your class. What type of ELL students have you had in your classroom?
I've had Spanish, Arabic, and Chinese ELL students.
Perfect. What challenges did these students face?
The challenges are mainly vocabulary. Sometimes I have to find pictures to show them what words mean. I notice they will use the wrong word or not know how to explain something. Sometimes the ELL students are reluctant to participate in whole group discussion in fear of not being able to explain clearly or have the wrong answer.
I read that in our book recently that there'll be a big intimidation for ELL students in large group settings, and that they usually work better in a small group setting. What do you know about linguistics, and how does this knowledge help you understand language-related issues that might arise in the classroom?
I know that linguistics is the study of languages, but I have not had specific training in this. To help students, I model the correct way to say things and correct the student's vocabulary as needed. For example, if a student asks, "How many pupils are in our class?" I would simply model the correct way to say that sentence. "You mean, how many students are in our class?" The more they are exposed to English and the more they participate, the better they will get it.
That's something else that we've read that's very interesting, that was being direct correction on a student and helping them, so that way that you don't just ignore what they say, but you also apply it as a learning lesson.
Definitely.
Thank you for that. My next question is, what impact has No Child Left Behind, the NCLB, had on your classroom?
I think the testing is stressful for all students, but ELL students are challenged with learning skills and language. I think NCLB has pushed me even harder to meet the needs of all students because they are going to the next grade level, if they are ready or not. My job is to get them as prepared as possible. ELL students need more small group teachers so they can monitor and correct any language gaps. Most ELL students in general education class are pooled by certified ELL teachers for language arts and are closely monitored.
That's very interesting too. The testing puts anxiety on everybody, so I think just you have the right direction of saying it gets you wanting to be better prepared for the students so you can help prepare them.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. What alternative authentic assessments have you used with students?
I have observed my ELL students by listening and watching. I observe their interactions during small group. When the ELL students are pooled by an ELL certified teacher during their language and arts time, that teacher would do more authentic assessments. I use results from these assessments to help in my instruction time for my ELL students.
Well, that's very interesting because you are not certified, though, you still work with them and observing in the classroom, but you use the assessment that the certified teacher does to help you better instruct.
Yes.
Thank you for that. What advice do you have for others or future teachers of ELL students?
Sometimes when you think they understand what you are talking about, they might nod. And they might not understand you. The ELL student might say they understand, but really have no idea what you want them to do. Have them repeat what you said in their own words. This will give you a better understanding of what they're thinking. Also, I find that ELL students are more confident in small group. Try to utilize that type of situation as much as possible, and don't forget about pictures. If they don't understand what something is, Simply Google a picture for them. Put yourself in their shoes.
That's very interesting too, on the part where you talk about them not understanding. I experienced that in my student teaching this last semester when I would see kids nod as if they understood, but then when you truly went to ask them, they didn't quite understand. So it's always good for them to relay what maybe you were asking them to do. So that's very interesting that you brought that up as well. Well, I appreciate your time. I thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for the advice and your experience on having ELL students in your classroom.
Yes, thank you so much for having me again.
And thank you for listening. See you later. Bye.